Editing secrets that turn any video into a movie. There is a famous saying that goes, any film is made multiple times. Once when you write it, once when you shoot it, and 22 times when you edit it. My favorite audio editing trick that I use a ton in cinematic edits is the audio swell. Audio swells in your edits are a part of the sound design, and they can really turn an edit from a simple video to something that really pulls you in and forces you to feel something. An audio swell is basically a spike in the volume of your audio waveform at the start or end of your clip. Here's an example. It's a bit similar to adding a whoosh sound effect, but more real, and I personally think it's much better. It sucks your viewers into your videos and makes your transitions very smooth. Simply drag the audio part of your clip, add 3 keyframes for the volume and make it a spike at the cut. Instead of doing this manually every single time, I created a preset for this and that applies the keyframes automatically. And editing like this with the presets is very satisfying and saves you a lot of time. It is included in my newly released preset pack that contains over 80 absolute 10 out of 10 presets, but more on that later. Or check out the link in the description already. Before we move on to actual visual cuts, I want to show you one more audio editing trick I absolutely love, and it is the high and low pass filter you can add to your audio. Most often I add this effect to the music while trying to keep it in sync with some of the visual cuts. These two effects are equalization filters that allow you to let the low frequencies or high frequencies pass through. You can use these effects to warp reality a little bit or make a transformation from one clip to another even more noticeable. By using these effects in sync with your visual cuts, you can really create a true synergy between your video and sound layer.
Landscapes.
These effects are also just incredibly satisfying for your ears. The preset pack I created also contains a high and low pass effect that you can simply drag and drop on your timeline. Our first visual editing trick, the match cut. Instead of regularly cutting your clips to progress further in your story, you try to match either the graphic, action, or audio of a scene. DJI is pretty much in a league of its own. I really love graphic match cuts. I've created multiple extreme graphic match cut sequences in several videos. You'll hear at least 1.8 million distinct sounds every year. The ad was seen over 1 million times, people really loved it, and I think part of why it did so well was because of the match cut. It was a great hook. Another great match cut is the movement match cut. The cool thing about this cut is that it feels like movie magic, almost like visual effects, except it's just a simple, well-timed cut. If you start video editing for the first time, you'll most likely cut the video and audio at the exact same time. Although this does create an edit, at some point it can start feeling a bit robotic. This is where J-cuts and L-cuts come in. A J-cut is when you hear the audio of the next clip before you see the video, and an L-cut is when the video cuts to the next clip but the audio from the previous clip continues to play. Both create tension at the end of your shot by first showing you the audio or video of the next shot.
All Jordan from the north to the south is beautiful because you see the green part.
It also helps you to make your edit flow. On the other end of the spectrum of cutting is the deliberate hard cut. Instead of hiding the cuts, you make them extremely noticeable. Alright, so I've got this little game plan for tomorrow. And the reason why I like them so much is because I feel like content in general, and also my videos, is getting more and more polished. And that quality and polish can still be in your videos, but by using a hard cut every now and then, you create a much more raw and authentic feeling. It can also help you to change pacing, create shock, or grab attention. The hard cut is very simple. It's simply created by cutting in your clip and audio track. You will sometimes get a nasty digital pop or click in the speakers. To prevent this, you want to add a microscopic 1-frame audio fade at the end of your music clip. Reverb, echo, end. This is an editing trick I've been using for quite a while now, and it is the best way to end songs or audio incredibly smoothly at any part of the song. The reason for this is because this reverb effect allows you to cut the audio at any part and make that last audio bit echo through, so it fades in a realistic way. It works best if you cut the audio a couple frames after a beat drops. I usually copy the audio layer and I let that layer start with a fade so the start of the reverb is not too noticeable, and I let the layer below that fade away. My preset pack also contains this effect, so you can simply drag and drop it on your audio when you use this. And when you use that, I have done all the tinkering to get the perfect reverb for you. Edit your story first. Now, different editors edit in different ways. Some edit chronologically and add everything whilst they're going. Some start by editing all the audio and then look at the visuals. After 10 years of editing videos, I'm now currently camp lay down your story first. And what I mean by that is I first lay down the chronological story by audio and visuals. And this results in a very dry, bare basic version of your video. It's not really a fun edit because it feels dry and boring. However, it is extremely efficient, and by doing this you can really grasp whether the story itself, without all the fluff, without the sound effects, without the pacing, without motion graphics, whether it's interesting enough to listen to as a viewer. That way you can still change things up, take an honest look at your story, and perhaps think about this for your next video, or maybe reshoot something. Also, your edit can only get better from this point on. Now, a quick bonus pro major time-saving feature that I have to share. It's a new feature in Premiere Pro. It's the new text-based search feature. This stuff is insane. Because it allows you to search for footage based on text, and it works really, really well. I can type in, for example, donkey, and it shows me all the videos containing donkeys. Finding the exact footage that you're looking for is now almost instant. Add digital movement. To spice up your videos, it can sometimes really help to add a bit of movement to your shots. Now, what happens if you have shots in your timeline and none of them are moving? Fix it in post. To add a little movement to these shots, you can simply add a digital zoom in or out, or add a handheld movement effect. Keep these digital movements subtle, except if you're going for that earthquake effect. Color correction and grading. Color correction is a great way to improve the look of your footage, and grading is a great way to improve the feeling of that footage. Even only learning the basics is incredibly useful, because no matter what camera you buy, you can always apply your grading skills and improve that footage. I know DaVinci Resolve gets you the best results, but the basics can be done in any editing software. The basics usually consist of fixing your exposure and white balance, and here are some examples of what a big change that already is. Grading is the part where you're adding more emotion to your footage by manipulating the colors. For example, add green to make it feel unsettling, or warm and golden for a nostalgic memory. Grading is more complex because it involves a bit of knowledge about color theory, and it's quite artistic. Sound effects. Start using sound effects. Sound effects are an incredible way to spice up your edits. Sound effects can help you to transform transitions from feeling unsatisfying to the best cut in the world. They can really help you to stitch clips together.
We met others that were also drawn here by adventure.
It can help you to learn the names of different sound effects so you know what you should be looking for when you're trying to spice up your edit. Sound effects I use all the time are whooshes, risers, pops, hits, clicks, drones, wind, and ambient sound. If you have a subscription to a music licensing platform, usually that comes with a ton of sound effects as well. One last incredible time-saving bonus tip is to create presets of your effects in your projects so you can save yourself a ton of time by reusing them in upcoming projects and videos. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to your clip, go to the effect that you created, right click and click on Save Preset. Now it can help to create yourself a nice folder structure by clicking on this icon right over there. And that way it's very easy for you to find the effects that you created. Now, over the 8 years of video editing that I've done, I've created over 80 presets, and a couple months ago I spent a lot of time making a very nice folder structure, and they are now available in the BruKino Essential Preset Pack. I especially created a lot of these effects so you don't have to go back to Adobe After Effects and switch back to Premiere Pro when you want to create animations. It can all be done in Premiere Pro, and all of the animations you saw in this video have been created with the preset pack. Just to show you how quick and easy it is, here's an example. We've got my background, the background grid, and we show something on top of that. It's a little clip right there. It can also be an image, whatever you want. To make that better, we want to, for example, add a little bevel to that. You can do that by simply going to the Essential Preset Pack and then going to Image, going to Bevel. There's different options. A lot of these effects have different options. And then add the bevel effect to it, and there you go. There's a nice bevel to it. Now you can also simply search for the effects. So if I want to add a little nice texture to the edge, I go to Animated Paper Edge, and there we see there's a little nice animated paper edge texture to it. We can even make it better by having the image move a little bit. We go to Camera Shakes, go to Handheld, drag and drop that on there. And now there's a very nice little subtle movement going on. Make it better, go to a vignette, add a little vignette to the background. Looks even better. Add a little shadow. I usually use the second drop shadow. And there you go. Nice thing is you can still adjust a lot of these effects in your effect controls panel as well. If we want to add extra animations, we can simply do that by, for example, going to a slide in effect, slide in from left. We can also do a shrink effect, shrink middle, middle shrink, and we add that on there. So now we got this. And then at the end, we can see the shrink. And that's it. There's also a ton of video effects, transitions, and really good sound effects. I'm really proud of the pack, so check them out at BruKino.com. Thanks for watching. To really turn your videos into movies, YouTube thinks you should watch this video too. It's YouTube's personal pick for you. Thanks for sticking to the end. Appreciate you watching, and see you in the next one.